Hi, I'm Melissa Burch, and I'm doing a book reading of my second memoir called Yearning for Magic, Spiritual Journeys of a Mother, Healer, and Lover. So we're in the midst of coronavirus, and this means that many writers have had to cancel their book tours, and many of us are resorting to these virtual book readings. So I'm very excited. Welcome to Tinos, Greece. We're on a Cycladic island here, and actually the second memoir starts with the wedding between my husband and I in a village called Kirkus, where George's family is originally from. And the first memoir I wrote, I took it on the road. George and I, dressed up an RV. We called it the Heroine's Journey, and we went 18,000 miles across the United States twice. And I gave book readings in libraries and bookstores, and this time it's going to be this video recording. So the Heroine's Journey, this is book 2. It's about my 30s. The first one was about my 20s. It was an adventurous story. I was a war journalist in Afghanistan. And this story, Yearning for Magic, is about my 30s and becoming a mother and all the changes that brought about. And many of these things became almost magical. So this is the Heroine's Journey, book 2. And the Heroine's Journey is quite different from the Hero's Journey, because in the Hero's Journey, oftentimes it's a reluctant hero that gets taken on an adventure. And for me, the Heroine's Journey usually starts at rock bottom, where the female heroine cannot make it any further. She's just absolutely hit the wall, and that is the point where her journey starts. And this happened in the first memoir, and in the second memoir, it happened around infertility and the desperation to become a mother. So what I'm going to do is read a few excerpts from my book, and the first one is about the infertility. During this year of infertility testing, I never gave up on the possibility of an immaculate conception. I had rarely prayed in my life. Now I prayed for God to intervene just this once and make me pregnant. Deep in my unconscious, I had a bit of my mother's philosophy. Just in case it was true. Maybe God granted favors if you asked. I would pray for a child. On our last summer vacation to Tinos, a month before I became pregnant, we purchased the tin-plated card of a baby from the Tinos church, a sacred place. Greek Orthodox believers crawled on their hands and knees to the Tinos church after they were granted their wishes. A husband, a healthy baby, better eyesight, safe travels. They climbed up the steep road to the large church on the hill with a carved marble bell tower, then finally up a broad white marble staircase to kiss the gold and jeweled icon inside the left side of the nave. Such a practical religion. Devotees paid their penance after receiving their miracles. I prepared myself mentally for the climb up to the Panagia, the Church of the Virgin Mary, on our hands and knees if needed, to honor our successful request. We kept having sex when I ovulated. It was a desperate kind of sex, mechanical, scheduled. After sex, I would prop my butt up high, imagining the one great athlete, the hero's sperm, making the journey to the moon, finding my egg, pulling its orbit to make life. We tried the turkey baster, gave the sperm a running start, and saved them a few sperm miles of their great journey. Even that didn't work. So, we were given 1,000,001 chances with ICSI, with in vitro, and this was really the first magical experience that happened in my life, where through an energy healing or a spontaneous healing, George's sperm became just uber sperms, and we were able to conceive. And now I'm going to talk a bit about vaccinations, because one of the things that I questioned, like I had no real opinion when Alex was born about vaccinations, but I thought I would do the research and figure out what to do, or George and I would figure out what to do. The most difficult decision George and I made was not to vaccinate Alex at birth. We did not think he was at risk for hepatitis B, a sexually transmitted disease. But now I was researching the vaccination question and discovered there was a lot of controversy. The Center for Disease Control, the American Medical Association, and the American Pediatric Society were unanimous. Vaccinations saved lives. No debate. As parents, we were questioning some of the current popular child rearing ideas. Alex slept with us in a crib pushed up and attached to our bed, an adapted family bed, which was frowned on by many experts. I put Alex on his stomach when he was fussy, sleeping on his back. He was calm, safe, content sleeping on his stomach. However, the lonely voices of homeopaths were arguing against vaccinations. They countered this all-out war against diseases with articles and books. They spoke about the immune system and how getting some childhood diseases like measles made children stronger. I was thankful that I had measles as a child, one less worry of a risk for a miscarriage when I was pregnant. I wanted to find out what a homeopath would say about vaccinating Alex. So you'll have to read the book to find out more about what happened there. But one of the things that vaccinations did, the whole question and research, was it did lead me to homeopathy. At 4 months old, Alex was a plump baby. I still had not vaccinated him. I was not sure what I was waiting for. Walking down Broadway in Soho, pushing Alex in his stroller, I turned left on Prince Street where the Open Center had an esoteric bookstore I loved to browse. On the bulletin board there was a flyer for a homeopathic lecture by Harold Thompson on Friday night. I decided to go. The cedar-incensed room, dim lights, altar in the corner, and a New Age reverence at the Open Center meeting room greeted me as I sat next to 20 other New Yorkers for Harold Thompson's lecture. With his rumpled gray suit, unshaven jaw, and Einstein-like hair, Harold did not fit in this setting. He asked for a chalkboard and pulled out of his pocket white chalk that smeared all over his suit. An assistant in tight yoga pants obliged him. He drew a circle on the chalkboard. "Think, this is the sulfur remedy," he said. "Imagine a messy person full of ideas, itchy skin, sticks his feet out of bed to cool them, craves eggs." I was sure he was talking about himself. He labeled the circle sulfur. Then he drew another circle. "Sulfur meets sepia, a homeopathic remedy made from cuttlefish," he said. "The sepia woman is independent, yells at her kids, wants to be left alone, has irregular menstruation, lacks vital heat, thirsty." What a pair these two would make, I joked with the class. My mind rushed with ideas about a universe where medicine had personality, individualized prescriptions based on a cluster of characteristics, not symptoms or a diagnosis. I was still wrapping my brain around the idea that there was nothing in those sugar pellets. This sounded like magic. When I listened to Harold, I found myself interested in studying medicine for the first time. George's energy healing dabbing had been the holy grail for us. After the canary in the coal mine experience with conventional medicine, the unexplainable had led us to getting pregnant and having a healthy baby boy against all medical predictions. Was it possible that there was something to this homeopathy too? The universe is interconnected and homeopathy is a part of this paradigm, Harold said. I was hooked. Spirituality and medicine combined? Not for an instant did I believe homeopathy could cure anything, but I loved the ideas. I signed up for his 3-month course. Okay, so we're in the midst of this coronavirus, the flu, and as a homeopath, we view medicine and acutes in a completely different way than a lot of the media and fear-based concerns. Of course, each person has to look within, make their choices, and decide what's best for them. But I'm going to read a little bit about how homeopathy views acutes. And what happened was I had pneumonia, which actually kind of led to this desire to have a child. And that's also something that acutes can do. It can open up a new idea, a new purpose, a new vision. This bout of pneumonia also held potential for new opportunities. In homeopathy, acutes were chances for the immune system to get stronger and often would open new paths and new growths. Spiritual teacher Gurdjieff spoke about how a door, an opening never before seen, could appear and lead a person to new levels of consciousness. Pediatricians and mothers have observed that after a childhood acute, a child would have a leap in development. They may start to talk or walk after a fever or some other short-lived disease. At age 3, after his recovery from the mumps, using homeopathy, Alex could speak full sentences. In adults, these acutes, when not suppressed by antibiotics, cough suppressants, or painkillers, force people to take time off and see their lives from a new perspective. They offered opportunities to make profound changes. In our culture, acutes are seen as interruptions, and the sooner one recovered, the sooner one could get back to his or her previous life. Nobody wants to feel ill, but the long-term cost of suppressing acutes could lead to chronic diseases. In homeopathy, symptoms are understood as the best way for the body to come back into balance. When symptoms are suppressed, the disease can sometimes go deeper to more vital organs. One example is the use of cortisone for skin eruptions. Yes, the eczema will go away, but asthma often occurs. Allopathic doctors have acknowledged the connection between eczema and asthma, but they do not always understand that the cortisone used to suppress the eczema could be causing asthma. So the takeaway is to build up your immune system, and if you get the flu, see it as an opportunity to get stronger after you recover, to see new opportunities in your life, and discover aspects of yourself that you didn't know before. And really, I think the final thoughts that I want to share at this book reading with you is that motherhood, just opened up a whole new way of life for me. I think for those of you that aren't mothers, you can relate to this because we all have mothers. But it was really giving birth to Alex and raising him as a child that phenomena came into my life. Homeopathy came into my life. The joy of motherhood, the experiencing of magic. Okay, so I hope you'll read my book and share any insights in your own stories, and I look forward to hearing from you. So bye from Tinos.